Hey guys, what's up? It's Darkmech here, and today we're going to have a look at a few of the little changes, some not so little, that are making their way into 7.0 and Legion. And pretty much I wanted to make a video about these things, I just didn't feel like they could justify their own video, which probably would have been a smarter option in regards to my channel for stretching out content, but that's not exactly what I'm about, so I thought I would put them all into one video, and then I thought I'd be clever and call them like Legion's little changes. And then I just said that out loud, and I think that sounds really fucking terrible, so I'll avoid that. When I wrote this out as well, I'm starting off with the camera changes that you'll see in-game, or that are hidden in-game. And then I thought I could start with lights, camera, action, but then I read that and I was like, that's fucking awful too, don't say that. So we're just going to start off straight up normal, guys, with the camera changes, and the first change I'm going to talk about is the action camera. So the action camera is a neat little tool that's available via a set of console commands. You won't find it anywhere in the Blizzard UI, and it removes that static sort of camera action that you get from Blizzard's current frames, and it takes you into the action, as it might sound, an action camera. So it gives you that real, for me, that console vibe, that Assassin's Creed, that Uncharted, that third person single player kind of game element to it, I suppose. It only works though if you are zoomed up. Well, works really well if you're zoomed up. So there is a whole bunch of functions. They're all in the description below to turn it on, to turn it off. You can do head movement. One of my favorite is target only focusing. So the camera will pan to whatever target you've got focused. My UI is not set up very well for it at all, as you can kind of see there. I'm hidden below the frames. And if you're zoomed up at ground level, you really do get the full effect, but you obviously can't see what the fuck you're doing if it's like that. It will really lend itself to RPers, people that want to level with that RPG, single player kind of action vibe. For people that make WoW movies, it will have an awesome sort of function for them. It is a cool gimmick to check out, but you can really get that feel like riding on a mount here feels really fucking cool like this, though it's not exactly functional because I can't see where the fuck I'm going really. For screenshots and things like that though, it will be absolutely awesome, and you can just see here the kind of amount of immersion you get in the world by being able to change the camera. So that is the action camera, guys. Check that one out. The next one is the max camera distance, guys. Now this is a huge change on beta forums at the moment, and I'm going to flick back and forth between Legion and WoD Live at the moment, just to show you exactly how much they have reduced the camera angle. Now if you are familiar with any of this stuff, basically the max camera CVAR is capped at 1.9 now instead of 3.4. The issue was that on LVI, if you enable CVARs, you get that 3.4. If you're not using something like that, you stay at the capped 1.9. So a lot of people aren't even going to notice this change. Blizzard pretty much stated it was never intended to be able to be scaled back this far, and they felt that it sort of compared to like something more like StarCraft being zoomed out that far. Not to that extent, but that's the example they used. So you can see on my screen when I'm switching back and forth now just how much of the world is now cut out with those changes. And it is quite a fucking lot. I also thought I was standing on the same square. I'm one forward, but it doesn't fucking matter. There is a lot cut out from the game now. The only real effect this is going to have though is in a raiding application. It's not going to be a huge issue for people questing in the world or anything like that. It is more going to be due to raiding, and I'm going to show you why. I'm actually on the way to Ruby Sanctum to show you the very reason for this. Now you can see even flying in the world, there is a lot more on my screen. I probably should have used the same map to give it the exact to give it the exact same scale. But you can see there is a lot, I am a lot closer on the Legion one than I am on the live one. But again, as I said, it's only really going to be an issue to raiding. Now, if we come to Ruby Sanctum, and just for this example with Halion, like a dragon boss, where you want to see where your raid's positioned, what's dropping on the ground from the sky, where people are situated so you don't get them hit with tail swipes or breaths or something like that. This is pretty much a good example of it. So you can see how much room is on my screen at the moment on live. I can see everything around this boss. If I pull him back and I zoom up, I can see where everyone is around him. I know what's going on. If we switch over to Legion, however, this is pretty much what you see. So straight away you notice that the boss looks a hell of a lot bigger because it is a lot bigger on my screen. And from here I cannot realistically see a hell of a lot that's going on around me. The big issue, of course, for raid leaders who are tanks, this is going to make your job probably a lot fucking harder because you are not going to be able to see jack shit if you are planning to tank and be the raid leader. So that is where the big issue is going to come from, and that's where the 72 pages have pretty much come from on the beta forums from people who are upset by this, and it's understandable. It's a pretty major change. Again, though, it's probably only going to have that real effect on the raiding community. And don't get me wrong, like, I love the extra zoomed out distance, and that's what I'm used to. But Blizzard are standing pretty much 100% firm on this, guys. They are not going to change it, it appears. As I said, 72 pages, a bunch of downvotes, a bunch of upvotes, things like that. And no real changes. So it looks like that one's there to stay, but that's what it is. The flight map has been revamped. Now, this is a fucking really cool one. It's no major change by any means, but it just looks really cool, I think. So this is what the new flight map looks like. So the little dots on your map are the flight paths that you do not have, and the little Nike Air Pegasus or the Icarus shoes or the shoes with wings or whatever the fuck you want to call them are the flight paths that you do have. So again, it's not a major change by any means, but I just think it's a cool little change that's gone into revamping Legion, so to speak, and something that I just really like the look of. Glyphs are gone, guys. Now, this kind of doesn't really fit in anything that I've been talking about, but the reason I wanted to make this one is just to give people a heads up who don't know that glyphs are gone. You can see there is no glyph tab anymore. Reason being is glyphs now only offer aesthetic purposes only or effects to spells. Pretty much why I'm telling you this is if you have a bag full of glyphs, when 7.0 comes, they're all going to turn into charred remains and be shit. The only thing glyphs do now is change the appearance of ability. So example, you can change the look of your wings on a demon hunter or the color of your wings. They're applied directly from your bag over the spell in the spellbook, and there's no tab anymore. It's kind of been replaced by the artifact system, I suppose, with the major and minor traits throughout your artifact. It's a better system, I guess, than the glyph system was. So if you do have glyphs in your bag, sell them now. Next up, guys, the revamped Dungeon Journal. Now, again, a small change, but I was actually really fucking excited by this one. So you still have your suggested content tab telling you where to go, what to do, what you know, all that sort of shit. Your dungeons are still in here, scaling all the way back to Classic, which is great. But the big one, the big change that I was excited about is raids now go back to Classic, Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mr. Pandaria, which we don't actually have on live at the moment. If you go and look at that, they're all grayed out. You can't go back. So this is really fucking cool. Atlas is still probably going to be a quicker way in regards to looking for items, transmog options and things like that. But I was really happy to see them make this change into it as, I don't know why, the Dungeon Journal just never having this, I don't know, it felt like a part of me was missing it. Probably not that fucking dramatic, but it's cool to see them put this in game. Another really cool feature that's come in with the Dungeon Journal now is that you have this loot tab, and on the loot tab it'll start off all your legendaries are here when you first click on it, but you can also go and see all your item sets. So here are all the item sets that belong to the Vengeance Demon Hunter. You can go through, you can change your spec, you can have it for all specializations, you can look at different classes. It's going to have your tier gear in there, so you can see the Vestment of Second Sight, so I can see what my tier gear looks like, what the bonuses are and things like that. It'll have any other bonuses that I can, or sets that I can pick up, in-game, from the Demon Hunter class halls or the PvP gear. So again, you can see what your PvP set's going to look like, what the set bonuses are on it, the blue Warglaive set, the starter green Warglaive sets, things like that. So just another really cool fucking change. And as I mentioned, the legendaries. And again, you can change the spec that you want to look at. You can change what class you want to look at. So a really well done from Blizzard on the Dungeon Journal, I think, guys. I do think that was a really fucking cool change. And it was a needed change. So that is it, guys. That is all that I've got in regards to little minor major changes come Legion. And as I said, I just wanted to put them all in one video because some of these things are really cool. Some of these will have an effect on you and some will have no effect on you. But any questions, guys, please do hit me up. I should have also, and I completely forgot, given a big shout out to Lemon King for the action camera stuff. He was the first person I saw post anything about that. I'm not sure if he figured out all those console commands or whatnot, but a huge shout out to you. Awesome work on that. So as I said, guys, like, comment, subscribe, hit me up if you got any questions, and I will see you all next time. See you guys.